Welcome to the Arsenal Show. We are live, and it's the match preview of the Carabao Cup game of Arsenal versus Leeds. This is a chance for Arsenal to keep the momentum going. It's a chance to give some game time to some people who need to freshen up. Some of these fringe players, some players who are first team players but haven't had the opportunity, considering we haven't got Europe this season, to get some game time. We're going to get onto the team news, score predictions, and key players very, very soon. But first of all, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Steve K. How are you doing, Steve?
Good afternoon, Kieran. Good afternoon, everybody. Looking forward to tonight. Big game. Big game, I think.
It is. It's a game against Leeds is always a tough one. But I mean, in a season where Arsenal haven't got Europe, in a season where we still got a big squad, we've got to use up that squad. We've got to keep everyone fresh because you never know when we're going to use them.
Yeah. Too. I think that I agree with you because it's a long season, and even though we're not in Europe, you still need to keep players happy. You still, as you just said, you need to keep them fresh. But I don't, as I say, we'll as we go along. But I don't want it to be changed too much, to be honest.
I'm not talking about wholesale changes, but like in the Wimbledon game, Thomas Partey needed game time. He got game time. Martin Odegaard came in. Other players came in. Lacazette was another one who got game time. So it was a strong enough team to beat Wimbledon while still being able to make sure that players who are maybe on the subs bench of these games on the weekend are still getting to play their part. Because the last thing that Arsenal need is to get an injury and then a player hasn't played for 3 or 4 months sitting on the bench.
It's a difficult balancing act, isn't it, that he's got here? It's a game where you feel that you want to put out a strong side. You feel that if we lose it, the fan base is going to be really upset. You feel Arsenal as a whole is going to be really upset. So it's difficult tonight, and it's difficult Arteta, because when you've got such a thin squad, if you like, or not as much quality maybe as what others have at this moment in time, it's going to be difficult for him to sort of get that right balance. But we'll see certainly tonight if he's able to do that.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think right now we've just with our fan base, I don't really think it matters whether we drop points or lose the game to anyone. Like it doesn't matter. There's always going to be something which is going to upset people because I don't think people are. Not everyone's singing off the same hymn sheet or anything like that. There seems to be fractions here and there. So. But we'll get onto that another time. So before we go on, let's get onto the team news. So Arsenal look like they've got a pretty strong team. The only major absence is Granit Xhaka still out with a knee injury. Leeds have got Luke Ayling, Patrick Bamford out, and Robin Koch out as well. And there's also rumours that Rafinha may potentially be out and missing this game.
Yeah, I think he is.
Always good news for Arsenal. That being said, Steve, what would be the predicted lineup for tonight?
Predicted lineup. Well, I think Mikel Arteta will play. I think he'll put Leno in goal. I think he'll. Tierney's fit, is he? This is going to be a difficult one. Will he be looking to play Tierney at the weekend? I think he probably will. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts with Tavares again tonight. Centre backs, I think that he may change one. He'll probably bring out Gabriel and maybe bring in Mari to play next to White. Tomiyasu, he played in the last one, didn't he? The last League Cup game. So I think he'll sort of stick with that. In the middle of the park, I think he'll play Thomas Partey. I think he'll play Martin Odegaard. I think he'll play with Emil Smith Rowe. I think he'll give Saka a rest. I think he'll play Lacazette again. I think he'll play Aubameyang again, and I think he'll play Pepe again as the front there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he may instead of Saka, I think he'll give him a rest and bring Pepe in.
All right. So, with regards to Tavares and Tierney, would you make any changes there, or what would your differences be to the predicted one you gave of Mikel Arteta's?
Well, it's easy for me to say as a fan that I would like to see the same side being played every week. But like you said at the beginning there, we have to think about, keeping players happy. We have to think about keeping players fresh for the weekend. But then again, there's part of me that is saying to myself that this game is just as big as the game that's going to be coming up at the weekend. For me, anyway. Some people may look at it a bit differently, but I think the domestic cups, I've said quite a few times on the show recently that, I feel that it would be an absolute disaster if we was ever to sort of take any of these lightly, and if we was to get knocked out. And I don't think that will give a good feel through the club. I don't think it will give a good feel to the players. I don't think it especially won't, give a good feel to the fans. So for me, it's a very, very important game tonight. So going back to your question, with Kieran Tierney, Tavares, part of me wants to see Tavares play all the time. I've liked him from the off. I think from the very first time he came into the club, there was something about him that I liked. I liked his power, I liked his tenacity, and there was things that I could see him doing that, Tierney, that he was doing just as well. And after his performance at the weekend, I just want to keep seeing him play. But I would play Kieran Tierney tonight and think about playing Tavares the weekend, because I like sticking to players that do well. I mean, I think they should be kept in. So again, same with Lacazette. I think he should be playing the weekend as well.
On the flip side, has Kieran Tierney done anything in his performance which would potentially have you drop him?
I won't put it. Drop's the wrong word.
This is why I say it, because
this drop's the wrong word.
This is why I say it, because as a player, if you've got injured for one game and Tavares comes in for that one game, and then you keep Tavares in for what would be seen as the main competition, which is the Premier League, would you not think as a player that you had been dropped based on his one performance?
Yeah, you would. I would. But on again, it's like you said on the flip side, that is the flip side. But again, on the other flip side is the fact that Tavares will be saying, "Look, I've done well the week. I didn't put a foot wrong." A lot of people saying I was man of the match. What else do you want me to do? You want me to fight to get my place in the side? I've got in the side. Keep me in there. Or otherwise, what have I got to do to, eventually get in? The way you played the weekend was the type of performances I want to see. It's very difficult when you've got a player of the quality of Kieran Tierney in your side. We've got two excellent left backs, and like I said, it's a very difficult balancing act that Arteta's got to be playing here with these two left backs. You had the Man United scenario where Shaw, overnight became a better player. I could maybe like we should keep Kieran Tierney in the weekend. As I say, I think he'll play Tavares tonight, and I think he'll play Kieran Tierney the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if that's what I would do. Just due to the fact that personally, I like to see players, be rewarded for their performances when they come in. So again, like with Lacazette, he had that performance when he came on. I thought he should have been playing the weekend, and it was the right thing to do. He played the weekend, and again, he had a fantastic performance. you know, I've got this thing about players when they've got their confidence, when they're on it, when they, you know, I just think you should keep them in, and I think you're doing more damage than good than just pulling them out. But again, it's a balancing act is so hard, you know, when you've got two players of this quality. But yeah, again, just quickly, I'd go with Kieran Tierney the weekend, and Tavares I'd like to see again tonight. Sorry, that's what I think. The other way around, yeah, the other way around. But as I say, the rest of the side, I agree with bringing that Odegaard in, you know, as well, and agree with bringing Pepe in as well.
Yeah,
I think just quickly, I think what really just sort of showed out the weekend that you're getting a lot of Arsenal fans who in the transfer windows are screaming for this 40 million, 50 million pound player to play in the midfield. I think Granit Xhaka and Lokonga are now proving to all of us, maybe some of us knew already, that you don't need a 40 million pound, you don't need a 50 million pound. You can have a 15 million pound Lokonga. You can have a Granit Xhaka playing next to Thomas Partey, because if you've got that player doing that job, sitting, disciplined, and letting Thomas Partey play, we see it against Tottenham when Xhaka played. We've seen it against Aston Villa when Lokonga was there. You don't need a Basuma. You don't need these big 40, 50 million pound players. And I think that's a good thing for fans now. I think the fans should realise that and stop all this silly talk about big, massive players in the midfield.
Yeah, I think Arsenal fans in general probably need to move on from the name players, because as we've seen, Arsenal don't do very well at that. For one, we're not very good at bringing in name players. Two, we're not very good at handling the big name players. And three, it's just not what our DNA is. It's just not what we do. We don't buy the big names. Wenger's thing, we make superstars. We don't buy them. It's true. And the best players that we've ever had here have been made here, not necessarily coming through Hale End, but I'm talking about they weren't big names when they came here, that they left big names. So long may Arsenal continue doing that. And yeah, not really interested in these ready-made players. We'll leave that to Man United, Chelsea, and Man City to do. We're start going back to what we used to do. It's more fun that way as well. Anyway, bringing through an unknown and him turning out to be an absolute beater, much more fun. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, based off the predicted lineup, Steve, who would be your key player today?
Key player tonight. Leeds. I mean, we all know Leeds. They're not going to sit back and just let Arsenal come onto them. You know, it's going to be a basketball game. You know, that's the way Leeds want to play. They'll let you come at them, and then they'll hit you on the break, and that's what the game will be like. I mean, for the neutral, it's going to be incredible tonight. For people like us, it's going to be like a bag of nerves. It's going to be one of them. So I think Leeds are going to get plenty of chances. I think our defence is going to have to play well. I think our goalkeeper is going to have to be playing well tonight, because Leeds, no matter who they play, always get at least 10, 15 chances a game. And the goalkeeper always has to be on it. So for me, Bernd Leno's got to have a good game tonight. I think he's got to. I think he's got to have a good game. And I mean, do you feel there's a shout that we should play Ramsdale? But for me, Bernd Leno is key man.
Oh, there's never a shout that you play on this game. Not even a chance. Not even a chance. No. Not even close to a chance of playing Ramsdale in this game. I said it earlier. You need to make sure that these players are getting game time. Leno's, Odegaard's, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, El Nene's. Whenever they can get an opportunity to get a game time and get minutes, whether it's half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, or full game, you need to get them in. The last thing we need bringing on we're relying on subs in our games to get us through the 70 to the 90 minutes in these games. We had it at Aston Villa, we had it at Tottenham, and we start to falter towards the end of the game because we're doing a higher press. That's the game. I tried to do that when he first came in, and it didn't work because after about 10, 15 minutes, the players were absolutely blowing. Now we can get through to about 50, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then we start to blow. That's when the subs need to come on. We can't start having games where we're bringing on Ainsley Maitland-Niles and he hasn't played in 4 weeks because we've decided to carry on with the same team week per week, and then he's not got any minutes. So when he does come in, he's rusty. We've seen that before, and it's bad news. Same way with Leonard, especially a goalkeeper. We've got very limited opportunities to get a goalkeeper game time. I don't even think I wouldn't swap Ramsdale out if this was an FA Cup game. But where it's a capital one, where it's a Carling Cup game, whatever it is, Mickey Mouse Cup, Milk Cup, Coca-Cola Cup, the League Cup, not the real cup. This is an opportunity to give minutes to players who could get time in this season. I'm talking about the Charlie Patinos and stuff like that, but I'm talking about players who could potentially get games. Pepe, Lacazette needs to start because, as you saw in the last game, he was blind towards the end. So a bit like Thomas Partey against Wimbledon, he needs to get his match fitness up, which is by playing games. The other ones, they need a little bit of rest. Abba probably needs a rest because his game now he's got to do a lot of chasing.
It worries me. That just worries me to see them not on the pitch. It's like you rest Aubameyang, so who takes his place? Who takes Lacazette? Who's big in Nikita, Bellingham?
Pepe.
I'd seriously worry. There's Pepe. I mean, if there's one player tonight who I will be just like, every time he gets the ball, I'll be like, please do something great with it. Please do something special. And that will be Pepe tonight. You know, I just really want him to have a good game tonight. And I think he needs to have a good game because I think he's due one, Kieran.
Yeah, Pepe. I like Pepe. He just needs to find consistency and not lose the ball 22 times. Even though I think I think his performance the last time he played, I think the 2 goals that we scored, his involvement in both of them goals has been massively dismissed. Like this, it's people are not bringing up enough the fact that his shot led to Aubameyang's goal. The cross that went into that box, yes, there was 2 headers after that, but that first cross that was put into a danger zone from Pepe. But his problem is the losing of the ball. He's got to sort that out. And once he tidies up that side of his game, then he I don't think he gets as many pelters as he normally does.
You know what Arsenal fans are like sometimes? You say what you just say about Pepe. They'll look for the things that he's done wrong in that game. They won't look for what you just said. They won't see that. They won't see the shot. They won't see the cross. They'll see where he runned into the player. He'll see where he maybe tripped up his own feet once or twice, or he lost the ball. But that happens with every player on the pitch. But there just seems to be this Pepe thing at the moment where the people refuse to see what good he does. And, you should do that. We can talk about the things that he needs to improve on. But, give him a shout out, give him a pat on the back when he does things well as well. And that's what supporters should be doing. And I'm sure if Pepe would be would take that on the chin. But when you think that all I'm ever seeing is people telling me that I've done this wrong, what about that? They see it. They see social media. They see these things. Don't think that they don't. Get behind him. Get behind the man.
110%. Score prediction, Steve.
Score prediction. I think Leno has a good game. I think we'll win this quite comfortably tonight. will we get another? It wasn't another clean sheet, was it? I thought so close to another clean sheet the weekend. I think if we carry on with the way we've been playing over the last few weeks, looking back on it, I don't think even the Crystal Palace and the Brighton game was such bad games, really, when you think about it, when you look now afterwards. So we're on a good run. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win.
3-0 win. Who's your goal scorers?
Goal scorers, Paul Partey get 2 on the trot. No, that's going a bit too far. I think getting 2. I think Pepe will get 1. It could be even a penalty. And Emil Smith Rowe will get 1. I think Pepe might get a couple tonight. I think it's due. I think he's due. I think he's going to be told, to run at them and get at the Leeds defence. And if you said like Ayling's not playing tonight, that's going to be a loss for him. So obviously they're going to be bringing in a backup there. Yeah. So he that will probably please him. Ayling's a good player, ex-Arsenal. So I'm going to go for a couple of goals for Pepe and Smith Rowe to get 1.
Yeah, if ever there was a game for Pepe, I know he got sent off in last time, which surprisingly sparked off his season after he came back from that. It's Leeds. They're very open. They play like excellent, exciting football, but it's so open. And if we can capitalise on the counter, hit them on the break, and be clinical with our finishing, we can get a decent score here. Yeah. I'm going to add my own prediction. I think Arsenal will win this 2-1. Just because usually against Leeds it's a little bit tighter. I think Leeds might get a goal, but I think it'll be 2-0 and then Arsenal will concede. All right, Steve has gone for a 3-0 victory for Arsenal with Pepe scoring 2 and Emil Smith Rowe continuing his scoring reign at the moment. Make sure you join us at 10 o'clock tonight for the post-match reaction and player rating. Glenn 10 will be there, I'll tell you that for nothing. Didn't realise that Glenn 10 is representing from America. Shout out to Glenn in Florida, having breakfast with us right now.
Very nice.
Appreciate that, Glenn. If you're watching on Facebook, come over to YouTube, KS1 TV. This comment section will be popping on later. And if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you come over as well. Hit that like, hit subscribe, and also hit that retweet to share amongst all your other followers. Thank you for joining us today, Steve. Today.
Yep. Cheers, mate. Yep. Lovely.
All right. And thank you for joining us, Glenn 10. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.